Hello and welcome to Who Is Best, a show where I look at and take games that give you choices and rate those choices in a tier list. Octopath Traveler became more popular than anyone thought it would. Using the right balance of old school nostalgia with new age techniques, this game was built to appeal to both veterans and newcomers to the RPG genre. In Octopath Travelers, you receive travelers, 8 of them. With those 8 party members, you also have 8 unique classes or jobs, as well as some hidden ones. These include your standard knights, thieves, priests, and so on. Similar to Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age, you also can gain a secondary class later in the game, making your party selection pivotal. Octopath Traveler allows you to use 4 party members in battle, and every character's primary class is locked. The secondary classes can only belong to one party member. The question, which character is best for which subclass, is the main determiner for this list. Also, at the end of the video, I'll talk about best class combinations for each character, as well as the optimal party. So let's get started with the tier. Cyrus is one of the best early game choices. His Scholar class is immensely strong in the opening hours, as you have yet to unlock the Broken Sorcerer class. Once you do though, Cyrus completely drops off the map. To keep him viable, you can give him the Sorcerer subclass, but that makes his primary class useless and is better given to characters like Primrose, Alphen, or Therion. If Scholar scaled or synergized better with any other subclass, he might be more viable, but better to just leave him in the dust. The low tier. Primrose may very well be the most interesting character story-wise, but when it comes to gameplay, her default class of Dancer holds her back from greatness. Most of the buffs and supports that come from the Dancer class are easily available in late game, making the remaining advantages of the class minimal to say the least. When it comes to secondary classes, her high speed complements the Scholar and Sorcerer's class, but unfortunately for her, Therion and his Thief class exist. Wasting either subclass on Primrose would be ridiculous, as Therion is a better pick in every conceivable way. Oberic is a simple character. He's a powerhouse tank that is built to put out incredible damage. But similar to Primrose, he has a superior peer in Hanet, who can do anything he can, just better. The only subclass that truly fits Oberic's build is the Warmaster class, which is much better applied to Hanet and her primary hunter job. If you choose him over her, it will likely only be for preference. The mid-tier. Ophelia is a very straightforward character. She's your main healer, and given the Dancer or Starseer subclass, can be turned into an alternate DPS or Ultra Support Mage. If push comes to shove, Alphen is a superior healer and support, but his skills are also a little more complicated to use and he takes more work to utilize, whereas Ophelia is about as basic an RPG healer as they come. Ultimately, you need one or the other, or both in your party, so you really can't go wrong. The top tier. Like I said before, Alphen is your best support character. His Apothecary class can heal just as well as the Priest, but requires no MP. But what really pushes him over the edge is his ability to generate BP for himself and the party. This allows the remaining 3 party members to go full out on damage, making him pivotal in an optimal endgame team. After Alphen comes the brooding thief, Therion. The Thief class affords him high agility and multiple uses. He really complements most subclasses, but there really is no reason to do any of that, as the only true subclass for Therion is the Sorcerer. Double boosting Fire Element turns him into a Pyromancer capable of one-shotting most enemies in the game. His speed mixed with magical nuclear power make him the ultimate DPS, aside from our God tier. The God tier. Hanet is the ideal candidate for the subclass Warmaster. With her high accuracy, multi-hit skills like Arrow Storm take on a whole new meaning of pain. Her Hunter class is practically useless in early game, but once she gains access to enemies like Chubby Kates or Dreadwolves, she absolutely breaks the game. The final member of the God tier should be no surprise to any Octopath Traveler fan. Rune Lord Tressa is an absolute beast. Sidestep for the entire party is unbelievably busted, while double boosting Wind Element makes for a devastating attack. Those 2 factors alone rocket her to the God tier, even without mentioning that her Merchant class comes with abilities like Hired Help and BP Share. Ultimately, Tressa is easily the best character in the game. Now, as far as best class combinations for each character goes, we'll go in order of the tier list. First is Cyrus. Cyrus's is Scholar, and I guess really anything else. Pretty much all subclasses are wasted on him. Primrose should be Dancer and Sorcerer or Scholar. She's a lesser Therion. Olberic is straightforward, Warrior, War Master. Ophelia is Priest and Starseer or Dancer. Alphen is Apothecary and Starseer. You can throw a Priest on him, but I wouldn't. Therion is Thief and Sorcerer, or you can go full evasion build and make him a Hunter. Hannet should be Hunter, War Master, hands down, and Tressa should always be Merchant and Runeblade. When it comes to optimal party, Sorcerer Therion, War Master Hannet, and Runeblade Tressa are locked in. The 4th spot should go to Alphen, unless using him is too complicated for you, in which case Ophelia is a great replacement. And that's my list. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.